Welcome to the DevOps Copilot show. This is the fourth episode that I'm shooting, and today I have with me a very special guest joining us for a very interesting conversation about careers in DevOps and cloud. And he's going to share his own experience with it. He is also doing a lot of other things for the community. His name is Gineesh. He's joining us all the way from Singapore. Gineesh, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
A little bit about Gineesh for our audience who might not know you. Gineesh has a lot of experience in this field. He has worked as a systems engineer. He has worked in various platforms team, and he is an expert on many of the tools that we are using today, such as Ansible, Kubernetes, Terraform, things like that. And he is also giving back to the community. He is running his own YouTube channel. He is very active in blogging. He likes to share his knowledge with other people. So he is a thought leader in this field. So welcome, Gineesh. I'll give you a chance to talk a little bit about yourself. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shishir. Thank you for having me here in this podcast. So, yeah, basically, I work as a consultant here. Mainly, I focus on Ansible automation, then OpenShift, Kubernetes kind of thing, then also all the infrastructure thing. So, we do like the consultancy for customers, like we design and deploy applications or application platforms. That's my official one. Personally, I do a lot of reading. Like whenever I found something interesting, I read it. Then, if something I did, I always document it. So that's why you can see the article in my blog or the Medium or wherever the places I keep the notes. Yeah, that's a very quick summary about me.
Okay. So I think Gineesh is being a little bit too modest here. He is doing a lot of these things and they are being very well received by the community. I follow him on LinkedIn, and whenever he posts something, he shares a lot of tips and a lot of news. Like in case if there's some discount happening for a certification, he is the person that shares about that with the community. So you should follow him on LinkedIn for that. So about your content creation part, that's really something very interesting that you do. Let's talk a little bit about it. So how did you get started on blogging and what was the idea behind it?
Okay, with the blogging, it was like I have a habit of keeping the documentation or the notes, whatever I do, because we will be doing the same thing again, maybe after a few weeks or a few months, we don't know. So that time we have to Google it again, find the correct steps, then maybe that time it won't work because we missed some steps. So I have this practice to keep the steps, notes, everything. So whenever my friends or people or the colleagues ask for some steps or the documentation, I had to copy paste and send it via email or send the documentation in the Word format or something like that. At some point, I decided, okay, why don't I make it like a blog? That time, the platform was not that easy to write the blog. So I was using some platforms. Then I switched to blogger.com by Google. Then I found, okay, this is good. It's helping me as well. Whenever I want to do something, I can refer my own notes, private notes and public notes. So I moved to a better platform, which is WordPress. So
Okay.
initially it was hosted on, I think, GoDaddy, then different. I switched between whenever there is an offer for the hosting because I had to pay it from my pocket. So that was the beginning. Then I found, okay, it's working. I mean, it's helping a lot of people. And also I pushed others to contribute. I realized, okay, someone is able to contribute something, someone is good in documentation. I asked them, okay, you share this documentation and just give me the like permission to publish it under your name. Or if you don't want to put the name, okay, we put under editorial, something like that. I mean, in some companies there will be restrictions. So that was the beginning. Then, yeah, then I think we are good now. I mean, we have some good collection of articles on this automation, Kubernetes, all this Terraform and all. So it's helping a lot. I can see I'm getting a lot of feedback. This article
Okay.
helped me a lot. So I was searching online and I found this article, saved my day. So I thought, okay, it's good. At least it's helping some people. So yeah, that's
Right. I agree. these articles really help you a lot in the sense that they build your knowledge base. So, for example, while I was learning Kubernetes, I used to experiment with creating Nginx ingress controllers and just trying out some things on Kubernetes clusters. So, one of the hurdles to do those experiments was the creation of Kubernetes clusters, right? So I used to forget, what was the step, what was the IAM policies required in EKS for creating this cluster, all those kinds of things. So what I did was I just documented everything on an article. I shared that article on LinkedIn and medium.com. So now what I do is I just go to that article, I see the steps over there, and I'm able to get the cluster created for me in a very short time and in very short efforts.
Yes.
Now I'm able to experiment on clusters because of that. So I think the work that you are doing with your blogging must be acting like a knowledge base for a lot of other folks out there.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. So that's why, actually, to be honest, I am the number one user of that because whenever I want to do something, as I mentioned earlier, and I will not
Mhm.
Google it again. I will Google it for the link because I cannot search it. So instead, I search, okay, how to do this. Then at the end I add TechWeekly, so I get the first link as the blog,
Right,
so I can do the things like you mentioned, the Kubernetes, installing Kubernetes or installing some configuration or something. It's very easy because I have the document ready to use. No need to search the
right,
even official documentation. So yeah.
right. Yeah, like whatever blogs I write, I think I am the one who refers to them the most.
Exactly.
That's true. But it doesn't really matter. It benefits you and it benefits other people as
Exactly.
well.
Yeah.
So that's
Correct.
great. So moving on, one thing that I think is very interesting about you is that you have also authored a book, which is quite awesome. Can you shed some light on that book? How did you start writing that book? What was the idea behind that book?
Sure. Okay. The book is about Ansible, mainly Ansible automation real life use cases. I was keeping the notes about Ansible from like the beginner for a beginner to advanced, like kind of a notes in Google Docs. And then I thought, okay, I used to publish articles like how to start. At some point, I thought, okay, why don't I try something like just publish as a PDF and distribute? Then I discussed with few of my friends. Then they all advised, okay, the first thing, the quality, we don't know the quality because it's just like a PDF. Because we saw many PDF. I mean, you can see in the groups or in the LinkedIn notes with the comments and playbooks and also. I don't want to do again. Then I contacted the publisher, Pact. Then they helped me and they guided me on how to do this process, like the discussions, outlining, and all. I have only the idea. Okay, this is the thing I want to do. Then I realized, okay, I have to do something different because we have many Ansible books in the market. Many others they already publish how to learn Ansible, how to do this for this Kubernetes, how to do this for some specific things and DevOps. So I thought, okay,
Mhm.
I should try it because most of the time I found the main question is how to, what is the use of Ansible, where I can use Ansible. So yeah, this is the answer. So you can use Ansible
Okay.
for many things. So this is like a intro for how to use Ansible for A, B, C, D kind of thing. So then you will realize, okay, you can use Ansible for many things, from
Mhm.
systems to Kubernetes to network devices to everything. So that's a
Right.
book. Yeah, it was a good experience. The book will be ready to deliver by, I think, by October this year. Yeah, thanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That is great. I think every person aspires to, at some point in their life, that they should have a book published by their name. So it's kind of good that you have checked that goal. It's great that you got a chance to do all this. It's very inspiring.
Mm,
The thing that I noticed was you had a lot of videos on your YouTube channel that you started. And I was quite surprised that the quality of the videos was quite good. Like it was in HD, it had some animations to make it very interactive and very interesting. So what was the process behind that?
okay, it was like another. COVID time channel. you know, when
Okay.
it started during the COVID time, not just like a passion for me. I had to start something because not going outside, we have a lot of free time. So I just tried. Then I found okay, it's helping me as well as kind of I can present better. Then it's also helping others because when we write the article, we have something in mind, but we won't be able to express in the writing. And some learners or some members in the community, they just really need like what is the output of the command. Even we put okay, execute Ansible this command, then you can put some snippets, but there will be like error. So in the video, you can show the error first, then show the right thing like that. So it was good. That's how I started the videos. Then at some
Mhm.
point, many asked me about the Ansible training. Told I cannot do that because I'm not. First thing, we don't have the bandwidth. Second thing,
Mm.
training is a commitment. That's like even free or paid, it doesn't matter. So okay, we can do what we can do is like okay, I will just just record the video and publish it.
Mm.
So that's how we started a challenge. So I asked few, I think almost 120 people just joined the challenge. It was like I don't know who and all. I put it sounds like 30 days of Ansible. That's how
Oh,
I started the series. So 15 days was good actually, smooth. Every day I published the video. But 16 days, 17 day, I got stuck because of the work and
right.
family. We have many things to take care of. So, but I
Yes.
managed to cover everything. I think we have published some 40 plus videos on Ansible from start to, and then we started advanced series like Ansible automation use cases related to the
Oh,
book, but use cases. Then we got other members in the community, other trainers or other experts in the community, and they came to talk. So all happened online.
okay.
So I think we
Okay.
had some 11 or 12 sessions on this. So at least because we watch a lot of videos and we read a lot of articles from the community. So it's something like we are trying to contributing back. So the
Right.
quality, I don't know, it's good. Then thanks for that. So we are just
Yeah.
I'm not like trying the quality one, but I'm just trying to, I mean, contributing back to the community. So it's like a give and
Right.
take. Yeah.
Right. I agree. When the quality is high, people are able to get more value from it. Right.
Okay.
If
Yes.
there's a lag in the audio, if there's the video is of poor quality, then it just creates a hindrance for the people.
Yeah.
But
Correct.
that's good that you have come that hurdle. One thing that I picked up from what you answered is that people like to see other person doing that thing and dealing with the errors. And I think that's a very important thing that really helps when you watch a video. You can see that, okay, this person has committed this error. So now this is going to be the resolution. But in an article, what happens is sometimes people might think that, okay, this guy must have done something else and he has written something else. So that doubt gets removed by the video. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. So this thing that you talked about, that you had 10 or 11 people coming from the community for contributing to the channel as well. So in what capacity did they do this? Like, did they create tutorials or did they come and talk about Ansible?
So we arranged online. It's not meetup. It's just like a webinar. You can call it like I call it like a knowledge sharing session. So it's not a webinar. It's like we are not talking about something product. So we just talk okay how to do like how to do the OS patching for Linux. It's a normal use case. So we will do a webinar because I think more than 20 people asked about that. So I shared the playbook. I shared the steps to do. I shared every
Okay.
logics to apply. Then still got a doubt. So okay, why don't we try something? Okay, we do a knowledge sharing session and answer in real time. So it's more interactive. Not like it was not a Zoom call. It's just a live streaming, but still I can get the question and answer them. So like that we
Hmm.
have done for Ansible AWS, then introduction to Git, then I think a few things.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the best for that. So,
Thank
Gineesh, blogging is one, then a book on its way, and a YouTube channel as well. So, you are, I think, we can call you a content creator now, right?
you. Maybe.
On multiple platforms, right? So, like, one thing is that you have contributed to the community, but what benefit have you gained as well from it? Because I also create some content, I also write these blogs, and they have really helped me as well, right? So I just wanted to know how have they helped you?
Okay. First thing, I don't know, it's called satisfaction or something. I feel like, okay, like I contribute something and someone read it, someone say, or sometimes they give feedback because not all people
Mhm.
will comment under the article. So
Right.
maybe 1,000 people just maybe one or two just comment, okay, nice article or something. If something goes wrong, like if something not working, they will comment it. This is not working. How to do? Otherwise, nobody is. Usually, if I read article, I try to comment if something is there. But if one person comment and say, okay, this is good, it helped me a lot, I feel like
Mhm.
okay, I spend maybe 1 hour or 2 hours for that. It already helps someone. One person is okay. Second thing, it helped me to improve my writing style, of course. The
Okay.
way I was writing is different. Of course, the grammatical error, then the mistakes, because technically you write something, nobody going to uh,
Yeah. Nobody
check the
can really
grammar.
check, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are not going to check whether it's a is or was or something mistake because we are just focusing on the code snippets, commands, and the
Uh,
images. That one also improved, I believe, because like the way we have to explain, like when we write the article, we have to follow some methods, like we have to give some introduction, then we
mm,
explain. There is a flow. It was
right.
not there.
Right.
It was not there. It was just like how to do this. Then I just put the screenshot, some commands, it's done. There was no flow. But then I realized, okay, there should be some flow. So it helped me in that way. The
Okay.
third thing I found when it helped me to get more visibility, of course. So
Mm.
someone, even during my one of my customer call, someone told
Oh,
me, okay, hey, I got an article written by you. So can I follow this one? I told him, you can follow that as a blog. So
right.
that's like you get more visibility. So you get more. It's good actually. So when you say
Yes.
something, someone say, okay, this person knows something. So at least
Mm.
we can follow his article to implement some that kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
those
I
are the
think it gets you a lot of recognition as well, right?
yes.
Because you see, what's happening right now is that if you just apply for a job, you'll be one among 400 or 500 applicants, right? But if the recruiter already knows that, okay, you have been working, you have been talking about these things, and we are hiring for, let's say, Ansible, right? So I think that would really give you an edge over other candidates, right? Because of the social proof that you have created from your content, that yes, you know all these things.
Yeah,
That's really great. That is, I think, one of the advantages of being active on LinkedIn or creating content about the tools that you know.
yeah, yeah. I just want to add on that because since you mentioned this, when you have looking for the job, I think now this documentation skill, it can be a blog or it can be a documentation on how to do these things or how
Hmm.
to implement this. This skill is important, very important for the job now. I
Hmm.
believe so because most of the time everyone doing some technical stuff, right?
Right.
Not like earlier. Earlier, I think the scope was very less. Now you are handling minimum 10 tools actually every day. Like
Right.
if you are working in
Right.
DevOps something, you are handling these automation tools, CI/CD, then even CI/CD different things. Then you are handling a version control system, Git or something. So you should have this skill, I will say. So the documentation skill is very important, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid point. In fact, I think I would encourage other people to also try out this. It
Exactly.
need not be a very fancy blog with all graphics and all. It could be just simple notes, but just preserve it in a way that you can find them whenever you want.
Yes, true. And also the good thing is like now we have plenty of platforms to write it. Like you can even just write in LinkedIn, or you can write in like a simple WordPress free platform or Medium. So the
Mm,
platform is not an issue now. So
right.
yeah, I would say it will be your mistake only. Like the platform is there, it's you have to spend the time and put something there. Yeah.
Right. And I think it's important for everyone. It would benefit engineers from all the fields. But I think it's especially useful for people in this DevOps and cloud field because the number of tools that you have to deal with are increasing and they are already at a number which is quite high, like 8 or 9. And it's just impossible to, remember all the things, right? So for example, like in Ansible also, it's difficult. Like even I'm sure like even you don't remember all the modules to write and all the parameters in all the modules, right? You also go for some documentation and all those things.
Yeah, correct.
So one other thing that I noticed, and I think our viewers who are seeing this podcast, they must have tried to look into your LinkedIn profile by now. So one thing is that you have done like a dozen certificates, right? From Kubernetes to Ansible to this Red Hat Linux type of certificates. And it's quite impressive because I have never really come across anyone who has completed so many certificates in so many different tools. Can you just share what's the thought behind that and what is the strategy that you follow?
Okay, for the certification, I did my first certification somewhere in 2006. It was like
Okay.
because that time Cisco certification was very high in demand. So we all go
Okay.
for okay, everyone doing CCNA. Okay, we'll go for the CNA like that. It was like that. Then we
Okay.
went okay. I was working on Linux, mainly Red Hat Linux. That time it was Red Hat Linux, not Red Hat Enterprise Linux.
Okay.
Then there was like exam called RSE. So it was
Hmm.
very difficult. It's a practical exam. So that was the
Okay.
start. Then after that, I think I didn't go for any other certification. Like I thought I was like comfortable. Like okay, I'm working on Linux, Windows, mixed platforms. I'm good. Then after a few years, I realized okay, I'm in kind of a closed room. Many things are happening outside. So one,
Yes.
I joined different company outside of India. Then I started, okay, I have to learn something because the cloud was just coming that time. It was just no,
Mm.
okay, there's a cloud thing. Then I slowly pick up like, okay, how to learn the cloud. It was very difficult because very less resources were available that time. Um, yeah, the documentations very difficult. Courses,
Mm.
not much courses. I
Uh,
never seen such courses like that. So the certification part, so the only option was to go to the training center, physical training center, and attend the training and that's the certification. Whatever the
okay.
certificate I have done is most of them are related to my work. For example, the Ansible, I requested my office, okay, I need to learn this Ansible. I already know Ansible, but I need to get certified. So I need to go for the official training because whatever I learned is from the official documentation, blogs and all. I
Mm.
don't know, I'm doing the right way. Maybe there will be some official way. So I go
Mm.
for a partner training center. Then
Okay.
later I did a certification. That was the starting. Then many things came. So we have cloud came, then Terraform came suddenly, then we have kind of a many certifications came. So I was not sure which one I am going to focus. My plan was to focus on, of course, the container and automation.
Right.
Then I found, okay, for the automation, I have to manage the cloud. Automation, I
Right.
have to manage the containers. Automation, I have to manage the infrastructure as well. So then for the specialization, I focused on the OpenShift, like OpenShift administration. And my job is like a consultant. So we have to sometimes if customer talking about their application hosting to the things and also I should be a like I should know okay what is this application now how to package this application to the OpenShift and Kubernetes kind of thing. So I took the certification for the knowledge and plus for the official because it should be certified to go to the
Yeah.
customer place.
The customers that you're dealing with, they might or might not know the skills that are required for their project. So having a certificate can give them a little bit of assurance that okay, this person is certified in this technology,
Exactly.
so he would have a fair idea about it.
Yeah, true. So it's like it was like a kind of a requirement. Sometimes there will be a like a requirement in the
Okay.
even in the project. I think it's a common
Okay.
in even in the normal project, like even in the internal
Mhm.
projects. Some projects they say, okay, we are working on this Azure cloud migration or something, so we need certified kind of engineer.
Okay. But I think you raised a very good point that some after a few years in your career, you realize that you are closing yourself in a box with just the tools that you know, and the field is growing. Some very exciting and some very new tools are coming to the market. So that's a inspiring thing that you went out of your way and got yourself some certified on so many new tools just to keep yourself updated. And I think this is something that the viewers of this show can learn from, that today you might be the king because you hold the latest certificates and the most in demand certificates. But down the line, like few years down the line, you will also have to upgrade and keep on upgraded
Yeah.
because this field is such. Since you are involved in so many things and you have so many years of experience, I think people would be very receptive to the advice that you give them. So, is there any advice that you would like to give to our viewers who might be just trying to get in on this field or just going to start their career in this field? What would be the advice for them?
Mm, Let me try. So usually I get this. I was there in the similar situation. Like you want to switch to the cloud role, but you don't have experience. Okay, same thing. So you want to switch to the OpenShift role, or you want to work on Kubernetes, but because you don't have an experience, you are not getting interviews. Maybe you get interviews, but you are not able to answer the questions. So what I will say, same thing, practice, because we have a lot of workshops, labs, free labs also. Even you don't need to install, so you can just open the browser and do the
Mm,
practice. So practice, that's the first thing. Then join the communities, interact with them. So even in the WhatsApp group or Telegram group or even LinkedIn or whatever the groups or platforms, just don't wait for someone to answer. Like if you find a question, someone asking, okay, how to do this in Kubernetes or how to do this in Jenkins. If
mm,
you know the answer, at least if you know, okay, this might be the answer, just answer it. It can be wrong, it's okay. So you are learning something. And we discussed earlier, contribute back to the community. Like, so you just start the blog or something, so you write it. So whatever you
mm.
learn, write it. So don't wait for like getting the real experience inside the organization. You will get it. Few people ask me, okay, how to get the Ansible or OpenShift real life project experience at all. No one will be sharing the customer kind of projects outside. So don't expect
Yeah.
that. Only you will see the samples. That one is already there in the GitHub repository, in many places actually. So like a Docker labs and Kubernetes labs, even OpenShift labs.
Mm,
There are I think almost 100 of OpenShift labs you can practice for free. So just practice
right.
it. Just make sure okay you utilize that one.
Right.
I think the
So
resource is there. You just need to spend the time.
I agree. Like resources are so easily available and they're very good quality resources which are just there for free. One thing that I got from your answer was you talked about contributing back to the community. So I just want to tell this to our viewers that this is not just going to help the community, this is going to help you as well. In the sense that when you write stuff, right? When you are, let's say, when you're writing steps to create a Kubernetes cluster, right? So if there is anything that you are not clear with, you will not be able to write it. And so in that way, you will know that, okay, this is the area that I need to work on. I need to understand this. So writing really clears your concepts as well. So about the people that they say that what is the real world example for Ansible that I can practice. So I also used to face this issue. I was working a lot on Kubernetes. I wanted to gain a little bit more expertise on AWS. So what I did was I just started creating projects on my own. I would give myself a challenge that can I do this? Like let's say there's this there's this thing in AWS called Kinesis, right? Which is event processing system. So I gave myself a challenge that okay, I'll create a producer for that Kinesis. I'll create a consumer for that Kinesis and then I try to query them. So this was the whole project that I did, and it took me a lot of time, but afterwards I was quite confident on Kinesis as well. So you can give yourself such projects, such mini projects. They need not be very hard, but they should be a little bit challenging. In that way, you'll learn, and then you can, if you get stuck anywhere, you can just Google about it, talk to other people, and I'm sure you'll find a lot of people willing to help you. Another thing that you can try out is that for these cloud platforms, there is a online challenge that is being run, and it's been running for like 6 months or an year now. It's called a cloud resume challenge. in which you have to create your resume and you have to host it on a cloud platform. Like you have to
Uh,
create a website for it. And there's a lot of things that you will learn. You'll learn how this SSL works, how to set up SSL in your DNS, how to buy a domain name, how to set it up. And there was another very interesting thing about it is that because it's a website, you also have to keep a count of the number of viewers that you get.
yeah.
So you will have to involve a serverless service like AWS Lambda for it. You'll have to use some type of a database, maybe Redis, maybe DynamoDB, things like that. So you'll learn a lot of these things by doing this one small project. And if you go through the blogs on many sites like TechBeatly, you'll find a lot of other things that you can try as well. So definitely check that out. That is going to really help you a lot. So thank you, Gineesh. I think it's going to help a lot of people. One other thing that I wanted to talk about was that since you are a popular guy on LinkedIn and other platforms, I'm sure you must be getting a lot of these opportunities to contribute in a monetized way. Content writing people are looking for all sorts of articles and they're willing to pay for that. So, how are you doing that? What's the process in that?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, once you are visible to the this kind of team, like they are
Mhm.
the content creators, not content creators. I think the term is something different. I forget. So what they do, like they are outsourcing, right? So it's like outsourcing the article because the companies maybe they don't have the people to write this content in this kind of stylish way. So there are many kind of agencies. It's not a secret actually. So they will contact you. You can also contact them. Just Google this, so you will find a lot. You can sign up so and provide like how what are the sample blogs or articles you have already published. So based on your content quality, they will approve. It's not quite complicated. Yes, it is a good side income. You can get, I think, minimum $200. You can ask actually if you have the confidence. Like I have the skill to write, and if you can spend, I will say half day minimum because some articles you need to spend a lot of time to prepare the lab, do the practice, the actual thing, like how to do these some steps or how to integrate some tools. So you are getting minimum $200 something. I think depends on the agency, depends on the article, depends on the content. So it's a good income. I don't think there is a legal issues on that one because you are not going to. Okay, of course, don't do in the office time. So based on the deadline, let's say they say, okay, I need this by tomorrow. Of course, we cannot do it. So if they say 2 weeks deadline, so you can do this. It's a good income. I think I know many doing this. So just check around if you have a good writing style, confidence, and maybe the knowledge, like the skill set. Like, okay, if you know the topic, agree on the writing. Of course, you have to commit. Once you committed means, yeah, it's committed. You have to deliver the
Mm.
the payment you're getting is good actually. It's good money. If you can cover some, let's say if you see 4 or 5 articles a month, you are getting almost $1,000. It's good actually.
This 200 depends on your negotiation as well, right?
Exactly. So it's 200 is like a minimum. So they won't negotiate. Some will just pay you like 400, 500, depends on the quality, I would say. So
Mm.
even if you are using your name, let's say if they want to use your name, then it's a different story because depends on your the profile in the community. It's very good actually. So once you have the skill set for getting the skill, start writing today. Just practice,
Yeah.
and you will know what are the because you read your article as another reader, then you will know, okay, these are mistakes. Okay, I am supposed to include one step, maybe because we know the things how to do, maybe we skip the step. But
Mm.
as a reader, they need everything. They need the flow, they need the intro, they need the wrap up kind of thing. So it's good side income without much issues. Like you don't need a special thing. You just need a laptop maybe
Mm.
for practicing, preparing the labs and all.
These were the questions that I had for you, Gineesh. Can you tell us a little bit about what you actually do? Like, what are your tasks? How a day in your career looks like?
Okay, I'm still learning. Every day I'm learning because we know, I think we all learning. We have new things, and even the same technology, we have new versions, new features, Ansible or Kubernetes. Or every 6 months, we have to upskill or reskill, whatever you call. Basically, we do like consultancy work. So I do the design based on the requirement. So if they need to automate something ABCD, I have to design the solution, and depends on the availability, we have to deploy it. So it can be
Okay.
Ansible, it can be OpenShift, it can be satellite, any product. Mostly I focus on the Ansible and containers kind of thing. Yeah, but depends on the project. So if no Ansible project, I won't be able to do Ansible. I have to do something else, kind of thing. Then we also have to learn the new features about the product, because every time, because all are open source projects. Whatever I work on, all open source, actually 100% open source projects. But we have a downstream version of that. So we call it upstream
Hmm.
project, open source project. Then we have the downstream, or we have the products. Every time we have, every month or every week, we have new features adding by the community. So that's the difficult part. I will say 50% I am learning, 50% I am
Okay.
working, kind of thing. So yeah. So even I'm working, so
Okay.
sometimes we find, okay, new things, we have to do it, learn and do. So we cannot memorize everything. I think if someone can memorize all 10 tools without checking any document, then he's a, kind of a superstar. I don't think
Yeah.
there will be left.
He might be the next Elon Musk then.
Yeah, true, true.
As a consultant, would you say that since you are designing the solutions for them, it would be okay to call you the solutions architect, right?
And not really.
No?
Essays are different. I think everywhere essay, I mean, solution architect, they are doing the different job. They do the entire solutioning. So
Okay.
if you have a part with some technology, then you might have different technologies in the solution. It can be a stack. So I focus on the specific one only,
Oh,
because SA are responsible for entire solution, right? Usually.
hmm.
So if you have
Right.
a kind of a cloud migration, then there are systems involved, there are databases involved, there are
Hmm.
other platforms or applications involved, containers, or can be anything. So if there is a container part, yes, the container consultant has to take care. If there is a
Hmm.
VM or something part, then the VMware guy has to take care, kind of thing. So we are like consultant. So
Okay. So
each
you're working in that niche of cloud and containers and automation, right?
kind of
Okay.
course, depends on the project.
Yeah. Got it. So great. It was very nice conversation. I got a lot of things to think about, and I think our viewers would have got a lot of tips and tricks in order to succeed in this career field. So I would just like to give you a chance if there's anything that I could not really touch upon and you would like to get across to the audience. Please go ahead for that.
I don't think, I think we have covered a lot.
Yes, we have covered a lot.
Actually, I found many struggling with learning, so they don't know where to go and all. I'm not a career advisor. Even someone asked me, okay, I want to do DevOps role. I don't know how to learn. I will say, don't try to learn like all the technologies, because if you do like that, it will
Hmm.
take maybe some 2 to 3 years to learn and complete everything. So just keep your core skill, because they might be from a system admin track, maybe storage.
Hmm.
Then keep the core skill, just add the skill, because you have a strong skill, because whoever working in a Linux admin for 6 or 10 years is a superb in Linux. But now we
Hmm.
know we are
Right.
not able to troubleshoot Linux. If there is an issue with the Linux machine, you just rebuild it or redeploy it. So that skill is not required. But still, you know what is the issue if something happened. So you can use your core skill. So keep the core skill, add the skills. Okay, you want to learn cloud? Okay, learn the cloud. Certify. It's not like expensive. I'll say $150. I think $150 something for the AWS exam is, it's like an investment. You will get
Yes.
it back within a year. So
Correct.
it's an investment. It's not like an expense. Don't call it an expense. It's an investment. Certify, buy the course, because the course like damn cheap, like $20 is like maybe 1,000 rupees in India. So it's I mean, if
Hmm.
you go out and have some like a biryani or you go with some friends, it will be more than that. It's very cheap
Yes.
because of course you can get it for very cheap. So just buy the courses. I think only only you can save yourself
Hmm.
because it's a
Yes.
matter of survival
That's
at the end. Yeah,
that's a very good line. Only you can save yourself.
yeah,
Very clear.
yeah, very clear. I mean, because even you get a mentor, okay, mentoring is a thing. You get the
Hmm.
mentor is ready to talk to you for hours, but even next day you are asking the same question, you are in the same place, same position, then no choice. So I say
Hmm.
you can get the advices, you can get the courses, you can get the references, resources from others. You have to do it by yourself if you want to survive in IT, especially in IT. Other fields, I
Yes.
don't know.
I think you raised, like, people usually come and say that, okay, I want to join this field. And in order to join this field, I need to learn AWS, Terraform, Kubernetes, Docker, uh, what Linux, and all these things, Ansible. So even I tell them the same thing, that you really don't need to get in on all of these. Just pick two. I
Yeah,
think for me, the most important two ones are Linux, like basic Linux commands, and some other cloud platform so that you can get started. So that's the advice that I give. And I think your advice is quite good as well. I like to add that to my advice now, that whatever field that you're coming from, you should try to build your skills on that as well. Like, since if you're coming from sysadmin field and you're looking to switch to DevOps, then Linux you have already covered. So just move to cloud
yeah,
platform. If you are coming from a background, so there are chances that you know about how automations work. So you can build on that.
correct.
Yep, yep. So that was really great, Gineesh. Thank you for taking out the time to speak with me. Thank you for coming to the show. And everyone, please follow Gineesh. He is an amazing content creator and he has done a lot of these things. His book is going to come out very soon. I'll be sure to check that out.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye. Bye, bye, Gineesh. Thank
Bye.
you.